Tonight on Collective Stupidity. Jacob hates traveling.
I've never seen a city so sad, and we live in Rochester. Like, what?
Robert hates retail customers.
Are you open? Fuck you. No, I'm closed. I'm waiting for the sun to explode.
And Samuel gets upstaged by a bear.
What the fuck is that?
It's a bear. It is a black bear that was shaved for surgery, and it escaped from the zoo after surgery.
I was just saying, you sound pretty worse for wear.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I'm not.
sounds
If
like
I
that.
listen, if I didn't have to record, I would not be here. But you know, no rest for the wicked. So
Them's the breaks.
yeah,
No rest for the wicked.
yeah, and I am the wicked. So don't get confused.
I think we figured as much considering you weren't resting. But yeah, sure. You know the added.
Yeah.
I mean, I figured out from the fact you're just like wicked.
Yeah.
You're just a wicked person.
Just in general, rather wicked. You
know.
But you know, what are you gonna
There's
do?
a darkness in your soul.
Rested, I don't know. You always look a little bit tired, but wicked. Oh yeah, I can confirm.
Yeah.
Beyond reasonable doubt. That's
You just
never a
want
good
one of
sign.
us to do the intro
That's
this
not a
time?
good sign.
Yeah, why not? Yes, one of you three stooges can do the intro. Yeah, go for it.
Well, I
Sam,
think I
what
can
do
speak
you
for
got
that. I get that. I think I
You
can
got
speak
this,
for all of us when I say that I don't want to do it.
So we don't.
Do not let Robert do the intro.
I feel like I would do it, but I'd have to do it loud, and my dad is downstairs seeing a patient, so
Oh, okay.
I can't be terribly loud.
Okay. So then, me then.
Oh,
will
process of
do-
elimination.
Yeah, go for it, Sam,
Right.
Sam
please.
got this.
Please.
I believe in you,
Okay.
Sam.
Blow
You
us
can
away.
be the new Jacob. You can fit right into that position.
Yep, please,
All right.
please.
We'll never know.
Let this be your
His parents
audition.
will never know.
Yep,
Let this be my audition.
Just
Okay.
right in there.
yep.
Okay. Count me down, and then I'll get started.
10,
1.
9, 8,
60,
7,
59,
6,
57.
5, 4, 3,
A B C
Two.
D E.
1.
Wait, guys, is it at 1, or do we count down to 1 and then go?
It's what? Count down from 3, and it's out 1, motherfucker. Oh my god, dude. Oh gosh.
10, 9,
Why you
8,
started from
7
again?
for the bit. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Collective Stupidity, the one show where you are guaranteed to leave here with less brain cells than you came in with. It is Monday morning. It is a 68-degree weather up here in redacted America.
Holy shit! What is this? Fox News?
Yeah, that's exactly right. It is Fox News.
It'll be partially cloudy into the afternoon with a strong chance of wind.
Slight chance of win. You are joined today by the 4 esteemed hosts of Collective Stupidity. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Jacob Redick, our host and producer. Give Jacob a
He's
hand.
fucking dying. He's fucking dying.
He's dying today, which is why he gave the
He
job
has,
to me.
unfortunately, he did catch a bad case of
Yeah, he got a bad case of...
I
Gotta-
don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
bad case of
Got a
sad
bad case-
disease. I don't really know. He got it. He's got a bad.
So sad that Jacob contracted
did you say a
ligma.
bad case of sad bitch disease? Is that what you
Didn't
said?
say that.
That is, yes, that is that's accurate. Yes.
You fucker. I missed that.
To my left, we have our co-host Dominic. Well, I forgot that we're not doing last names, but I'm going to say his last name anyway, so that you bleep it, and we'll just continue on with the bit.
I was making work for
Dominic-
the sec.
You could have just
Go
as
ahead,
easily
say it.
not
Say the
say
last
it.
name.
and I
Say it to the
wouldn't have
audience.
bleep
Tell the world my last name. Tell them right now. What is my last name?
God.
Dominic.
I'm going to bleep it anyways. It'll be funny.
You better beat that shit.
There we go. We got our co-host Dominic Mruzek. We are joined also by our show's cuddly mascot, Robert Calhoun, the
Oh,
Hoonster.
how touching.
And, of course, I am Samuel Robinson, the show's resident diversity hire, and we are proud to bring you this episode of Collective Stupidity. Now, from the top, you know how it goes, gentlemen. Each one of us has a topic that we're supposed to bring today, and we are starting with Jacob. What's your topic for today?
Can I just say, you have managed to, in the past, maybe 2 minutes, thrown out all of my, job security. That was so much better than any intro I have ever done, and I feel so bad about myself.
It's alright. It's okay. Sometimes we all
it happens.
Jacob, you just gotta lock in.
Yeah, my fault. Yeah, my fault. I'll get on that. My fault.
Before we start, can I have a complaint? I want to complain about something before we start.
Yes.
I also want to complain about something.
I want to complain about whatever you're going to complain about.
Oh, okay.
I mean, what I have to complain about is really petty, so you probably will complain about my complaint. But
Okay.
I have a complaint to register of this, and it's about Chase Bank.
Oh.
I don't know if anyone who works at Chase Bank is listening to this, or like the CEO of Chase Bank, John Chase, if you listen to this right now. But your banks, they are open. First off, who do you think you are? Your banks, they're not open on the weekends. First off, when people have off of work and therefore time to go to the bank.
Dominic only realizes that's all banks.
All of
Every
my
single
local
bank.
Chases are they're open from 10 to 4. Right? I work from 9 to 5, like every American does. It's I can't go to the bank. I've had a giant wad of cash. I've been trying to deposit. I tried to go to your ATM. It wouldn't take it. There was too many ones, which is fair. It was a lot of ones. But I have to go into the bank. Go talk to a bank person. But I don't know who you think you are. But this bullshit of working 20 hours a week. Nah, not having it. Not having it.
Dominic says no.
Bank is never
reform
open.
now.
It's been 2 weeks now, and I have not deposited my $50 in cash.
This is over $50 fucking dollars. You're right. This is petty. I'm absolutely gonna take issue with it. Are you fucking?
I'm also gonna take issue with this.
It's $185. I have to look. It's in my glove box in my car.
How did we?
It has been.
You're
How
just
did we
leaving it in
get?
your car?
How did we get? Yeah, you're leaving. What? I have so many problems with you right
Look,
now.
the bank is never open. So the moment I pass it and it is, I have to take that opportunity. I cannot leave it at home. I must leave it close enough to me that I can deposit it as soon as it's open. And I never know to buy it.
Listen,
all...
you better hope.
Yes.
You better hope that it's open sometime before this next episode airs and somebody steals it.
I'm gonna break into my car.
Yeah.
Dominic, I have
$87 in petty cash. Canada got rid of the penny in 2012? And
and look at them. It's a piece of
still good
shit.
and just fine. They're still good and just fine.
Canada's a piece of
can
shit.
go to the penny,
But I'll get to that next week.
Granted, I mean they are on fire right now. I mean, we'll ignore that as usual. We can ignore that.
Is Canada,
no, we gotta-
Canada's on fire? Is there new?
Yeah, I went to
details.
Canada this weekend, and the air quality was 4.
Have you seen the smoke? Have you seen the smoke outside? If you look closely,
Wait a minute.
Oh, is that why I have alerts
Yeah.
for bad air quality? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're having it's forest fires somewhere in Quebec, and it all
Gotcha.
drifts downstate, and it goes over us. We had the same issue
forest
last year too.
fires.
I
to
remember
make
that.
this feel better though, I think it's karma because every year we smoke out Mexico with Californian fires, so it does kind of even out.
Womp womp.
Yeah.
Womp womp.
Maybe if they're tired of dealing with the bad air, maybe they should come up here and put it out.
I imagine there would be some logistical issues with that, especially currently.
Yeah,
But
especially
sure.
in this.
You know, Robert, I love your
day and age.
diplomacy here, right? You know what? If this is such an issue, why don't you just put the fires out, and then it's out?
1 billion to
love that.
California.
Why didn't anybody else think about that? If we don't like fire, why don't we put
we
the
become
fire out?
first world
Genius.
Israel.
Oh my. Okay. All right.
That's it.
Let's pivot. Let's
That's it.
pivot.
3 trillion. 3 trillion.
3 trillion to
wildfires.
Israel right now.
So the moral of my story is that I wish my bank was open more often so I can go to it.
Yeah, how did we get from California wildfires to the Bank of Chase?
Yeah, if this podcast achieves nothing else in life, if you make my bank open an hour earlier so I can go to before work,
You
I'll be
keep
content.
saying this about the most outlandish things that have no
Yeah, it's not gonna
possible way
happen.
of coming true.
Not gonna happen.
But if it did, I would be happy. Is what I'm saying. If it did, I would be happy.
Well, we should probably start with some current events.
Okay.
Which leads into my what do you? I haven't even started, bro. What do you? What? What is so funny already?
So, I'm sorry. Is this a podcast? Or is this like social studies class? We gotta go current events first. Hold on. We gotta talk about Canada for a little bit. Then we can move on to talking about like Walmart Chronicles or something. We gotta do serious
How'd you
stuff,
know?
Then we can talk
How'd you
about
know?
banks.
How'd you know? Yep, here it comes.
Listen, my current event is yesterday was June 8th, and Milkhouse did not post. That was the current event.
Oh my god. Wait,
Oh,
I gotta
shit.
check my email. But you're totally right. They did not post.
Yeah, they like you're checking too. Yeah, they supposedly because I'm checking their Instagram, which they follow me, by the way. Again, I'm very proud of that.
Yes.
Don't know why, but they do. And they
That
also
is huge news.
They also
I can't believe you didn't
followed
tell us
me.
this, you know?
I know it's crazy. They also followed me at midnight, which I don't know if I mentioned, but
Oh no, you did not. You absolutely did not
interesting.
mention that.
yeah, I
That
don't.
is
Well,
very
I
interesting.
don't
weren't
know.
you talking about it at midnight? I don't remember
Yeah,
what
it was.
time you were
Yeah.
specifically talking
Oh,
about it.
yeah, I probably will. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, they didn't upload yesterday for their season 2 return. Because
That's not good. That's not good.
We forced
They
them into
forced-
hiding.
well, no, apparently according to their Instagram stories, they were having technical issues with video. They couldn't get it working.
Oh, having technical issues with video. We've had technical issues with video. We've persevered. They
Yeah.
can do it.
We don't even use video. That's
Hold on. They're having issues. They're having issues with video. Let me show them this very neat trick.
don't what are you doing?
That wasn't
I
a trick.
I do want that.
Staring at the screen. Second current event. Last weekend, you guys will remember, I went to Boston.
Oh,
Yeah.
you did go to
and
Boston.
I didn't talk about it then because I wanted Sam to get his topic in because I felt bad for the other one. But we need to talk about Boston.
Okay.
Did you not like Boston? That sounds like a serious we need to talk.
So
Hold on. Who'd you go to Boston with?
I went to Boston with my dad.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to get an idea of.
Yeah, it was.
Am I taking this from a perspective that we're talking about you went with like fucking.
Oh God, no! That would be horrible. No offense.
Did you
Oh,
did you
okay.
fly or did you drive?
We drove. It was about a 6-hour drive.
That's
But
not-
driving is actually what we need to talk about because
Oh, okay.
I have a list of things here that I need to talk. I wrote them down so I wouldn't forget them. I have heard the stories and the stereotypes of Massachusetts / Boston drivers, but
Yeah, I feel they're not good.
it's I'm not one for stereotypes. I think they're they're not nice. And you shouldn't judge someone on stereotypes. But I will say,
Right.
Well,
That being
Well.
said,
the lack of turn signals and foolhardy merging, as I have written here, increased by my calculations, which are very rough. They increased by at least 5 times as soon as we crossed state lines. I swear to fucking God, these people are... I don't even think it's that they don't know how to drive. I think it's that they know how to drive and they just don't care for anyone else on the road. I think they're just
that's
dicks
exactly what
about
it
it.
is.
Like,
that sounds
Yep.
about right. That sounds about
Yeah.
right.
okay, so...
Everyone I've known who's ever driven to Boston's had the same experience where it's like they understand the rules of the road, but they just have no respect.
no
for the
regard
rules of the
for
road.
them. It's insane.
Oh God.
Unbelievable.
There you go.
I saw a video once. It was at least 2. I think they were from Boston. I don't know, somewhere from like from the New England area. I'm pretty sure they all have the same fucking accent anyway. There's a guy and his dad. He's like, yeah, this guy isn't. They might have been from New York or like Jersey or some shit. And he's like, oh, these guys with their turn signals. His dad or brother or fucking whatever. He goes, that's cause, and there's a word for this. They're jergovs. They're jerk-ups. Yeah, they're jerk-ups.
What? for using turn signals?
No, for not using turn signals.
Oh, for not using turn signals.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Thank God. How's
So don't worry, Jacob. There's terminology for these
Gotcha.
for these
Yeah, they have-
cretins.
Fantastic.
They
I'd
have
love to
no
hear that.
respect.
No
No
respect
respect
at
for
all.
authority, those people. Which I guess in a way makes sense, you know. birthplace of the revolution. I guess it makes sense they don't have a lot of respect for authority.
That's true.
Birthplace of the revolution. I mean, that's a stretch. It was more like an angry mob, to be honest. I guess most
Which
revolutions start
sums
with
up
angry mobs.
Boston surprisingly. I don't know if any of you have ever been.
Yeah, angry
But-
mob.
I've
sums
never
up
I've never
Angry
been to
mob.
Boston, but I have heard a lot about Boston.
Angry Mob
You know-
sums up so much about that city. It's not even funny.
When it comes to cities in the world that I would live in, Boston is pretty high on that list. I like how they don't respect authority. I find it endearing in some way.
Yeah.
Can't quite describe it.
No, I did really like Boston. And I would never live in a city, but I really enjoy the idea of like existing in a city. So I think Boston is a good city to live in, just not for me. But oh my fucking god,
it's extremely expensive to live anywhere nice
yeah.
in Boston.
yeah.
It
let me-
rivals New York in levels in terms of expense. In New York,
Apartments in
ridiculous.
Boston.
Yeah, it's expensive.
All right, apartments.com. Oh wow, studio or a one-bedroom apartment, monthly rent $2,231.
Jesus Christ.
That's
Wow.
high. That's high.
So
people
to
have
go from a
prices like-
studio to having like a single room, it's like an extra like few square feet of wall is like $800 a month.
So, like for reference, for that price in Rochester would get you a 4-bedroom house.
Yeah.
As a rental. It's a huge gap
Good
there.
God.
I mean, some of these
what-
places do look nice, but
Yeah.
I also make like $2,000 a month, so
Yeah. It's the entire monthly paycheck.
So-
Not even.
Not
Not
even,
even.
plus
It's-
utilities on top of that.
Yeah.
Plus
Yeah.
HOA.
But your problem, Jacob, it's not the pricing of the house. It's not the pricing of apartments.
No, it's
is
the
it?
fucking drivers. I have a list of events I need to get through here. So
Please do.
Okay.
So my list starts about 30 minutes ish after we get into Massachusetts on the Massachusetts Turnpike. This is about the point where the license plates start being all Massachusetts based.
obviously.
Okay.
I wonder why.
Yeah. I think my neighbor is doing some farming, so you might be able to hear some farm equipment in the background. That's neat to hear. Well, yeah, I live next to a farm.
It's one of those.
Yeah.
It's one of those out of rim moments right there.
No, you know what? Actually, I lied. They're tearing up my road to repave it. So they're tearing up the road. I don't know. Also, side note, I don't know why they're doing it this way. They're tearing it up Monday and Tuesday this week, and then they're leaving it like unpaved until next week, and next Monday and Tuesday they will be repaving it.
Awesome. So you're gonna have an unpaved road for a week.
I don't know why the fuck they're doing it that way, but whatever.
You're gonna be driving on a main road side road.
Yeah, it's really
Oh my
fun.
God.
Okay, but anyways, so again, 30 minutes after we get over state lines, there is a Porsche. I see in the right lane, I don't think there was anybody in it, or if there was, they were kind of far up. In the right lane, I see this Porsche, right?
Yeah.
Pull in.
Okay.
And then he starts swerving in front of the car in front of me. And then he starts swerving in front of... He merges right again, and he's swerving between cars. Because of course he is, because he's in a fucking Porsche. But immediately after that, though, there's like a small gap between me and the car in front of me, because I have like the fun cruise control where like auto follows a car.
Oh, yep.
So
yep,
it
you got the
leaves.
fun
Oh, yeah, the
it
smart
leaves,
one.
Yeah, it leaves about like a car's width between you two, and a fucking course. It's a BMW merges into that fucking space. No turn signal. At least the Porsche had a turn signal, but this fucking BMW, no turn signal. And it wasn't a smooth merge. It was like immediate. Like it was.
God, dude.
The car jolted because
Like,
of this
no.
fucking guy. But like, of course, it's a fucking BMW that does that. Like, oh
course.
my fucking god. And then,
Oh my God.
so then we get to the hotel, right? And the hotel is in. It was a Best Western in North Quincy, which is a suburb. Suburb is rough, but it's an offshoot of Boston to the south of it. It takes maybe a 10-15 minute drive up to the main city center.
Right.
But this hotel, this Best Western, is right next to like a kind of a major highway that goes through the city. So what you have to do is you have to exit the highway, right? And then you have to do a left turn to go around the base of this highway bridge thing in a weird angle, and it's kind of finicky. But there's a specific left turn area to get to this hotel at the intersection. It's not a lane.
Yeah.
It's like so you have the normal road going straight, right? But then you have a completely separate road just for left turns, and it curves and it separates from the main road, and it has its own light. Has its own fucking light. And I swear to God, you can't write this shit. We're sitting in this lane, and we have our turn signal on. We're going left, right? You can't turn right. You can only go left. And this fucking big lifted fucking truck pulls up next to us. Because it's like you could fit two cars like next to each other. He pulls up next to us on the left, and the light's still red, and he just fucking turns. He just turns. And immediately...
Wait, he turned left? He turned left at a red light?
He turned left, because apparently in Massachusetts, it's fucking turn left on red. It's not turn right on red, it's turn left on red. You do whatever the fuck you want in Boston. This guy turns left on the fucking red, immediately followed by two other dickheads who pass us and turn left on red. And like,
hey Jacob,
the only place that this road goes is that hotel, and like nobody was going that way. There was plenty of parking.
They were gonna miss their check-in.
You can check in whenever. There's no reason. There's no rush. They're just dicks. That's it.
They're jerk ups, Jacob. They're jerk ups.
Yeah, apparently. Okay, and then oh my God.
Yeah, in the lifted truck too. That really drives it home.
Yeah.
Really drives it home.
Yeah, the lifted fucking truck, dude.
I have beefs to pick with those people with the lifted trucks.
I'm driving a lifted Dodge Ram truck. My lifted Dodge Ram truck has blinding white LED headlights positioned directly at eye level.
We could talk about the LED issue at length another time. They piss me off. But continuing on with my rant, on the way to, because I was going there for a concert. On the way there though, we were driving again, and we saw this fucking guy get on like the highway enter ramp, even though it said do not enter. Like, and I'm 90% sure that it was into the wrong lane. Like he was going to merge into oncoming traffic. So I don't know. I don't even know what his plan was. Number one, but number two, I also don't know if he survived. Like I don't know what happened to that man. And then after that, we were going into the city, like, and we started getting into like the skyscrapers areas, right? And there's this intersection with like a flashing yellow the way we were going, and there's another road obviously bisecting it. And it was the worst intersection I've seen in my fucking life. It was chaos, and there was like nobody knew what was happening. The cars going on the other road, I think technically shouldn't have been going because we had the right of way, but it's Boston.
Right.
So all of that's out the window. And then in our road, there was a fucking homeless man in the middle of the road between cars just asking for fucking handouts.
Yeah.
Then we come to another issue I have with Massachusetts as a whole. They don't... Okay. Massachusetts does a beautiful job with their road markings and their road indicators when they fucking use them, but they don't. Boston is the most well-indicated traffic situation I have seen when they put the markings on the goddamn road. And even then, the people don't follow the instructions or the markings, but at least they're on there, right? And that's cool, except for when they're fucking not. Because you know how in New York, exit lanes are like, they have the small dotted white lines? You know, they're Massachusetts has that for the last or the first 10 feet of an exit lane. And
oh God.
And sometimes it just doesn't even bother putting lane markers on roads that definitely need them. And this becomes a real issue when you get on a fucking roundabout. Because I swear to God, it is a fucking free-for-all. You know those roads in India that have no street markers or anything? It's just tuk-tuks all the fucking everywhere? That's what this roundabout was. It's fucking insane. Yeah. This is one of the biggest cities in America, and we can't put we can't put lanes in it? What are we doing?
No.
What the fuck are we doing?
I think it's the internal battle of two different thoughts of mind within the Boston government. Right, well, you got one guy who's like, well, we got to put markings everywhere, right? We got to, because nobody knows where to go. And the other one's like, well, no one's going to follow it anyways. So why try?
I know.
Why even try? And you see the bit where it's, where it's like really clearly marked, it's clearly one guy, and where it's not clearly marked,
It's the
clearly the other
second guy. Yeah.
It just they conflict. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then
Good lord.
so that was all like day 1-ish. And then day 2 we went around the city and we walked to a few places, did a few things in the city, and then we decided to drive around to some other kind of landmark spots that weren't in the area we were in. And so while we were doing that, we were in it's a 3-lane intersection. There's the left lane, the middle lane, and the right lane. The right lane is for turning, the left 2 are for going straight. At no point can you turn left. It is do not turn left. You are not to turn left onto this road. A McLaren pulls up in the right lane.
I wonder what'll happen next.
He puts on his left turn signal.
The suspense is killing me.
Right.
He turns on his goddamn left turn signal, and he cuts everybody off as soon as the light turns green to go left on a road you're not supposed to go left on.
What?
And I'm not positive on this. It could have been possible for him to go in the right lane, the correct lane. I'm 90% sure though he went straight into oncoming traffic. And like
I guess it do be like that sometimes.
And I'll tell you what, Massachusetts also just has a problem with people fucking merging whenever. And
yeah,
it's 50-50 or if they have their fucking turn signal on. I swear to these people have either balls of steel or they're fucking suicidal all the time. Like they do not give a shit about what the fuck happens when they're in a car. It's insane.
Yeah.
But like, and this next one is literally at the next fucking intersection after this McLaren guy. There was an intersection where it's I think 2 lanes. We were in the left lane turning left, so this wasn't an issue for us. But in the right lane, there was a little like hatchback, and behind him there was a fucking lifted fucking truck, and this small hatchback stopped kind of in the middle of the road. And this truck started laying on the horn, and he got angry, and you could see him yelling. And I look over, and I see the reason why the car stopped is because there's a fucking mob of pedestrians crossing the road. And from this lifted truck, this guy could see it. He just wanted him to run those fuckers over. So, like, but, you know, it'd be like that sometimes, I guess.
It do be like that.
It do be like that. Fuck that lifted truck people, actually. To be honest. But
no, fuck pedestrians.
Yeah, fuck pedestrians. Fuck you.
These are my roads. These roads aren't built for you to walk on. I like to see you walk 60 miles per hour.
I need to preface this with something that's actually deeply concerning to me. Right?
Yep.
Now, you have to understand, this type of shit would really rarely, only in specific cities, would happen in our state, right?
Yeah.
But for some reason, our state has one of the highest vehicular casualties in the nation. Why is that? Where you got shit like this going on in Boston?
Well, you got to remember, Sam. And actually, I was just looking into that too because I wonder what the rates were. I didn't remember. So, like, Boston has the highest vehicular crash, but one of the lowest fatality rates per vehicular.
Well, yeah, that's because everybody fucking sucks at driving, but it's also a big city, so nobody's going fast enough to kill anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if anywhere near Boston, or anywhere in the Boston Metroplex, which is like half the state, you're going at tops 50 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And if you crash at 50, you're going to live. Our cars are pretty good. But if you live in New York, where we have one giant city way down the corner, and then everywhere else is really spread out, you can hit like 75 and 70 on the country roads. And it's those people who do 75 on back roads, those are the ones who die when they wrap the cars around a tree.
Yeah.
Those are the ones who pass away.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we have like a kind of a high fatality rates, because we have much more countryside, and our people also don't really respect the rules of the road all that much and road safety.
Oh yeah.
And they will happily fly their loaded pickup trucks, loaded Dodge Cummins into the side of an oak and just wrap it all the way around.
Yeah.
And you know,
die.
Yeah.
Oh my.
That was quite harsh. I don't want to be too judgmental, but
No, you can be judgmental. No, it's
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I'll have a bone to
that's
pick
fair.
about lifted trucks.
Yeah.
I'll wait until you're done.
Yeah. On the topic of Pocket Burger, we went to In-N-Out, and I didn't finish the burger I got, so I put it back in the burger wrapper thing they had. And for some reason, I don't know why I did it, I put it in my pocket. And
Oh God.
And when
I
I
hands free.
We've all been there before. We've all done that exact same thing. I did it once with an ice cream cone on accident. Yeah, it happens.
and when I got to the car, I went to take my phone out to plug it into like the dashboard so we could have the map.
It's the same pocket as your
And then
phone.
you plugged in your burger.
No, I reached in and it was the entire pocket, and my phone was covered in ketchup and like in cheese. Like it was.
Why is that?
Oh, it may have
Let's
been
take a
because
gander
there
at why
was
that
There
happened.
might have been a burger in there. There might have been a burger.
Fuck.
Let's do some Sherlock Holmes deduction here and try to work out why my ketchup is full of pocket. I don't know why it's full of pocket.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So that's
Pocket burger.
my
There you
topic.
go.
But as a brief addendum, because we talked about New York, we also stopped at Albany on the way back. And have any of you guys been to Albany?
I have been to
have.
Albany. My
I
brother
don't-
lived
I
out
don't
there
think so.
in West Albany for a couple of years.
Is that
If I have, I was probably really young.
now is West Albany, Dominic, in the city?
Sorry, as in like the west side of Albany.
Gotcha. Okay, so are
I
we
kinda forget where he lives.
are we
It was
talking
towards the
suburb or are we talking city-ish?
With the suburb meets the city, kind of that edge.
Okay,
That edge
so
area, most suburb probably.
my complaints are going to reside with being in the city, in it, in the center. Because we in Boston, we went to the State House, right? And we wanted to compare what New York's looked like, and so we went to Albany because it was on the way back. And side note, beautiful building. It's a very nice building. They also have this thing called the Egg. I don't know if you've seen it. It's fucking
Egg.
weird looking, but Albany is. And I don't say this lightly. I do not say this lightly. Albany is more of a void than is, which is surprising. There was nothing in Albany. Like,
Sounds about right.
I do kind of remember that from going downtown. It's like you've got, well, first off, if I remember, this is going back a couple of years, but Albany downtown, it is a city in a technical term,
Yeah.
but it has like what, 3 buildings
Yeah.
above 14 floors? It's very,
yeah. So there's
They have, like, 2
there's
buildings.
no like big downtown, but the kind of the downtown is like a government office type thing, right?
so nobody can go into it, of course, because it's a government office. So
Yeah.
the result is you have like 2 extremely tall buildings, and everywhere else is just,
Yeah.
it's just empty.
There was just nothing there. I saw one
What are you gonna do?
subway,
What are you gonna do now?
which was closed at like 4. They also have this weird fixation with like vertical surfaces. Like there was just blocks everywhere, and I don't know why. I have never seen a city so sad, and we live in Rochester. Like what? I don't.
It is a very sad city.
I don't get
It
it.
is. It is. I agree with you. That's the sad thing about upstate New York is we had money. Well, we built all of our government buildings and a lot of architecture when the state had money. When upstate New York had money, and that was in the 70s and the 60s. As a result, all of our architecture is prime 70s and 60s brutalist, and it's hideous.
Yeah.
There are no upsides. It's terrible, and it's a good 70 to 60% of all of our buildings are just brutalist junk.
Yeah.
But the
No,
capital of our state, man. Like, how is the capital of our state in such a fucking sorry?
It's so sad,
State.
dude. Literally,
It's really bad.
The only notable thing that happened to me in Albany was there was a squirrel eating a graham cracker.
Oh, that is pretty cute.
is
I give you
sad.
points for that. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice.
Well, he tried to eat
sad.
the plastic bag it was in first, but then he figured out he didn't want that part, and then he ate the graham cracker.
Oh,
It's like, what the hell is this? Oh, that.
So,
You can't fool me, plastic bag wrapper.
Yeah.
I know how to open you.
but yeah. So that's my topic. Boston drivers suck, and the state of
Yeah, they do.
not the state, the city of Albany, is Bantha Poodoo. So yeah, that's all I got.
Albany, do better, Albany.
Please, I beg of you.
Please
Do
please.
something.
Where is our sense of pride? What? Come on. You know something. Like 90% of us are moving down to Florida. Maybe if you fix Albany, you know.
Then we might lower
We
that
really have
rate.
this-
We might lower that rate.
I don't know if Albany's brutalist is why many of us moved to Florida, but you know what? It can't hurt.
No. I honestly think if we fix up
Certainly can't
Albany, it'll like do so much for just New York pride. Because
Yeah,
like, what is New
yeah.
York known for? New York is known for the New
York.
York City
Yeah.
and
New York
being
City.
fucking miserable to live in. Like that's it.
Yeah.
It's known for New York City and if it is fun, we will regulate it until it is no longer fun. Like, if we
There
bring
you go.
some life and joy into Albany, then surely that's going to reflect in at least some type of legislation. And we might have, like, something fun happening here. I fucking hate this state.
I don't blame you. I mean, as you know, I have plans to move to Florida after college.
Yeah.
And those plans are they're just getting stronger and stronger every single day. Like every day something else happens, is like, yeah, I'm gonna move to Florida. Right? Like first my parents buy a condo down there. It's like, oh, okay, got family down there now. That box is checked. And then a whole bunch of jobs open up in Tampa. It's like, there you go. That's check number
Go to
2.
Florida.
Housing just crashed down there, so everything's kind of cheap now
Ooh,
to buy.
nice.
There you go. Check 3.
Yeah.
I'm all in, baby.
It's like,
I've been
Florida,
looking for
I'm
an
coming.
easy in
I'm
real
coming
estate.
fast.
I just see it in real estate, bro.
Not even gonna try for New York. New York had its chance. Rochester, you had what? By the time I graduate, 24 years to prove you're worth living in, and you didn't.
You failed.
You blew it.
Florida had, Florida had a week, and it proved much more than you did.
Oh, God, dude.
You
Can I talk
blew
about
it.
trucks? I want to digress about trucks for a second.
Oh God.
Well, you should ask the host.
Yeah.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
can I talk about lifted trucks?
That maniacal laugh.
Are the trucks your topic, or is this a caveat?
This is gonna be a caveat. I guess it could be my topic though. I mean, it kind of depends on what you want to do.
Nah,
Can we get a time
we'll
check?
tack on another hour. We'll tack on another hour.
No,
Go ahead.
I'll make it brief. I'll make it brief.
I think we should let the unpaid editor call the shots.
I'll make it brief. But I must talk about.
Is it about lifted trucks?
Yes.
Carry on.
It's my digression from earlier that I didn't do.
Carry on. Absolutely.
I don't know if this is a normal thing or if this is just something that I experience, but
It's probably not.
and multiple times now, I've had a lifted truck, like one of those giant, like F350.
Lifted Dodge Ram
Lifted
truck.
Dodge Ram.
Yeah,
The,
the huge
the
ones.
extended
The huge ones.
mirrors. The
Right.
only thing missing is the truck nuts. I know what you're talking about. I know the type.
Yeah, yeah. the ones that have never towed anything in their entire life. Like those. I've had
Oh,
maybe 4 or 5, maybe even like 6 instances now where I've had one of those truck merge into me on the highway, on roads, and at first I thought, oh, they're just being dicks because, you know,
Yeah.
I hate to
Right.
enforce stereotypes, but that one is kind of true.
Yeah.
But I think I have a different theory, and I want to bounce it off of you because I think my theory has some credit to it.
Yes.
I think on these like ultra lifted trucks that are huge, the driver adjusts their mirrors to see the lane next to them, as you should. But when they do that on such a high vehicle, the mirrors are adjusted up, which means that they don't see my car, right? Because they'll see a normal car. They'll see a normal car, which is 4 or 5 feet tall, but like my car is about like 3'9". It's really low. It's shorter than me. And so I think in the mirrors, they don't see me. They see like the very top of my roof, and that's about it. And it's gray. You're gonna blend right into the road. And so I think these people are merging into me. They have no idea they're merging into me. They're completely clueless.
So what this is though, what that means though, is they're shit drivers because they don't check their blind spots. That's what
Right.
it means. They don't
Yeah,
look at-
that.
That's literally what
think it
looking
comes
over
down
your
to, like,
shoulders
They
is
check
supposed
the mirror, right, and they don't see me. And then they try to check the blind spot because the truck is so high, and because they're on the driver's side merging into the passenger lane. Even look out the window, they're not going to see me either.
You're in the ultra blind spot.
Yeah, so like no matter what they do, unless they poke their head out of the window on the passenger
gonna
side,
see
which
it.
is like 10 feet away from them, they're never going to see me. I think that's why they're merging into me.
Yeah.
I still kind of blame it as their fault, but it's less of their fault because there's no way in hell if I was in a situation.
No, it's
I
their
would
fault because
do
you
it.
can't. I don't think you can buy one of those trucks stock. Like I think you need to lift it yourself.
Oh
or,
no,
like,
those
pay
are
someone to
pretty
lift
heavily
it.
modded. They
Yeah.
don't sell.
So
trucks.
that's
Dominic-
absolutely still on them.
Dominic, I have a genius idea.
Yeah. It might be the
Have you
same idea
ever-
I had, which is to buy a bright yellow roof rack and stick it to my roof.
Oh no, that was my idea is quite literally just to commit insurance fraud.
Mine was going to be an unregistered firearm.
Okay, so this was on Monroe Ave, right? Now, say 6 months ago, Monroe Ave in Rochester, right? Which is a 4-lane, not a highway though, it's just a street. And I was in the
Do
right
I,
lane.
just
and there was a truck.
checking real quick. Do I need to censor Monroe Ave?
No, Monroe is generic.
Okay.
People know what Monroe Ave
Gotcha.
is.
Okay.
In case you're really curious, it was the Monroe Ave, the section right outside 590 where it hits Whole Foods. That
Gotcha.
area, right?
Sounds great.
So it's really dense traffic. Right?
I know where that is. I've got it in
Yeah,
my
oh,
mind.
yeah.
I too know where that
I
is.
can't tell
I
if
know
it's
what Whole
because of
Foods.
that.
I too know where this street location is.
I know what Whole Foods looks like.
it's burned in my mind, and you're about to know why. I was in the right lane, and this truck was in the left lane, and the truck puts on its turn signal. I could watch the guy like look behind him, then look back forward and merge, and he just didn't see me, and he merged pretty much into me, and I panic, right? So like, I lay on the horn, which was dead because the horn was dead.
Right.
Because I mean, I had to take drastic action, so I swerved, and I swerved into the curb and then off the road, and he just like kept driving on, and I kind of swerved into that grassy bank. This must have been closer down by that jewelry.
Was the time you came into class saying your bumper was falling off?
Yes.
I remember this. You told us this.
It ripped the entire front of my bumper off my car. And ever since that day, I thought to myself, like, that guy looked. Like, I saw him. He looked. And he did not see me. Not only am I driving a car that's inadequate for
I feel like that wouldn't have been. I feel like this wouldn't have been an issue if you just let him hit you, because then you get the insurance payout, and then you get a car that you get a car that isn't a steaming pile of shit.
Yeah. The thing is, I am kind of tempted by that, but I don't think I can. Right? Because the car is so tall that if he merges into me, he's not going to hit any of the structural support or the airbags. He's going to hit just the window and the roof.
Oh, you let him tap you and then you swerve into a building.
And then risk total bodily harm. Yeah, that's definitely the
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Call it a hustle, baby. I call it a hustle, baby.
This giant
I call it Thursday afternoon.
In his lifted, whatever it was, like Dodge Cummins, he ran me off the road, and I don't think he had any idea he did. He clearly was oblivious. And I've honestly debated about getting like a bike rack to put on the top of my car that I would just spray paint bright yellow. Honestly, I might do that because I'm a little bit terrified. It's gonna be like a semi truck one of these days. That's my complaint: is people who drive the giant lifted trucks. You should
kill yourself.
At the very least, you should get like one of those like merging sensors so you know that no one's in your blind spot. You should not be merging blind. That's not a good idea.
I think.
Or you could buy like a smaller truck or just smaller wheels and not do that.
Or blow your brains out.
You're gonna do that.
Yes, Samuel. Yes.
Like, I'm trying my best to be non-biased, but I am kind of with Sam. I think the lifted trucks look stupid. I think you look stupid. You look like a child. You look like one of those.
You look like a child dressing up in your dad's soup, pretending to be an adult.
Yeah, that's exactly what you look like.
You look like one of those. You look like my old roommate I talked about a couple episodes ago. Whatever his name was, Tommy. You look like Tommy with his 7 CB radios and a giant light bar and his little Nissan Trax, whatever it was. You look like that, and it doesn't look like
Dwight Schrute, not cool Dwight Schrute from the later seasons. You look like season 1.
You do look like Dwight
season 1 Dwight Schrute. That's not a good look. That's not a good look. That's not a good look.
I'm sure lifted trucks have their uses in the world. I'm sure there is a use for a lifted truck.
They're not on the road though. They're only
I imagine
useful
it's
for
quite useful if I'm, for example, towing a yacht over the highway. But when you're driving to Starbucks in Monroe Ave, you probably don't need the giant lifted truck. You can probably do that at home. But
when the race war happens, you'll be going first.
That's my. That's a touching thought, Sam.
That is a crazy statement to say unprovoked.
That's my I don't even know what to even call that. Dom complains about things that matter but also really don't matter. Corner.
I was gonna say, you gotta have the corner.
It wouldn't be a Collective Stupidity episode if Dominic did not redo the same 3 jokes every time.
There you go.
I like my jokes. I like them as running gags, if you will.
What are we gonna shill this time, Dominic? I wonder.
That's
will it be for a top-mounted bike hatch or something? Perchance?
That was my idea, but I can't do that now.
You're a funny guy. You're a funny guy.
Okay,
right.
so that's the end of my bit. Should we move on to the next topic?
Well, you want to make that your topic?
Let's ask the host what he thinks. Host, what do you think?
Are you comfortable with that topic? Was your actual topic going to be pretty long?
That wasn't my actual topic. My actual topic is quite long, so I'm going to hold that, and I'm going to talk about a really short one, and we'll call that a day. How's that sound?
Wonderful. I mean,
go
host, what do you think? Host.
I think that's wonderful.
Fantastic.
I just realized that you were doing. I thought you were like asking yourself rhetorically. No, you're asking Sam.
No, I've just started talking to myself in the third person.
Okay. All right.
Shoot,
You know what I'm
go
doing?
for
I'm
it.
gonna do more. Dom goes for his list of topics, all the small ones that can't be their own topic because it's too small.
Wonderful.
Round 2. I need to talk about this guy in my anthropology class. Weeks ago.
I've been waiting for this one. I've seen it on there for so long.
Yeah, it's been on the bottom. I was talking to this guy in my anthropology class, right? And we sit next to each other, right? And I don't know him at all. I have no idea who he is whatsoever. He seems like a nice guy. I don't really know. But whenever we're in anthropology, he is never doing anything work related. He's always like shopping on Amazon for like a bunch of camping equipment or whatever. Or one time like tickets to Quebec for, I guess he wanted to go to Quebec.
Okay. I guess it was
Anyway, he
one
opened
of
up
the
his
3
Outlook.
people out there.
Yeah. He opened up his Outlook, right? He opened up his email. And I saw that he had 15,252 unanswered emails. There was actually a moment there where I went in class. I had like a partial anxiety attack just from seeing that number.
Why the fuck are there so many?
Top of his Outlook. And I was like, holy shit.
Is this the school Outlook?
Yeah, I think it was
Is
just
this, okay, because I was gonna say if it was a school, I don't know how he could even do that. Like that's
And
he
I
would
don't know
have
what
to
this
be
man
here
did. I don't know
for
what this
so
man does
long.
for a living. I mean, I don't know anything about him, but I'm gonna. This is 15,252 emails, and that's a lot of emails.
It's a lot of emails.
It's a lot of emails.
That is a lot of
He
emails.
probably has even more than that because you had this topic like for 3 months now.
Yeah,
So
this
it's
has been
not
on,
even-
this has been on the list for 3
Yeah.
months,
Well,
and that actually was
so-
the entirety of that topic. There's nothing I could add. This guy with an ungodly amount of emails that I thought was a little bit weird
Thought it was
If you're
noteworthy.
listening,
for having all those emails.
Yeah, if you're
if
listening,
you're listening,
email,
random
man.
classmate, email man, clear your fucking inbox.
Clear your inbox, and then also reach out to
It's not
us
that-
at
it's not that hard.
collectivestupiditybusiness@gmail.com. Tell us what was going through your head. I want to know.
Do that
we wanna
first,
know.
actually.
Yeah, do that first, and
Do that
then
first.
delete them.
How many
Actually,
emails do I have?
actually,
I'm
if
gonna
you
have a
do
look.
that and then don't even clear your email, that's fine too.
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
also
that's also
fine.
fine.
Engagement
You know,
is what we
we're
really
gonna do some spot journalism here, right? Everyone open up their emails, and let me know how many unanswered ones you have. I have 296 unanswered emails in my inbox.
I have 4,800,000,000. No, I'm kidding. I'm opening
I
that.
have the entire U.S. debt as unopened email.
Okay, I have 2 answers to this. Do you want my
Yeah.
my Gmail and my Outlook?
Whatever your actual email is.
Yeah,
I guess it's
whichever
Gmail.
one you use more.
I'm looking at my
Okay, so
Gmail.
that'd be my so my Outlook, and this has gone up since school ended. 215.
Okay.
150.
Now, granted, I get a lot of emails from LinkedIn every day.
So I have 334 in my Outlook, which I haven't checked at all until right now.
So
Then I got
And then there's my Gmail, which I open like every once.
So yeah, in the 200s. Jake, what do you have? How many unanswered emails do you have in your Gmail?
Oh god.
Sorry. Hold on. What detour? Detour. I opened my email and I got the notification that our dear friend Robert reposted this TikTok.
Elon and Trump. Oh god, dude. I can't even watch this. Wait a minute, hang on.
That's a winner.
Anyways, so
What? It's just a still image? Oh, I gotta click
no,
the
you
link.
gotta click the
You
link.
gotta click the link, dipshit.
I'm such an old man.
You really are. It's surprising. I'm gonna be honest with you, Dominic, and I don't mean this offensively. You are like a young
you do.
old man. No, I don't. Because
Thanks, bud. I appreciate-
I'm friends
I appreciate
with
that
plenty
plan
of
upon
young
my name.
old people. You know? I'm
You
also just friends with
Oh,
old
yeah.
people like Sam. You know, I'm friends with
Oh,
everyone.
that's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is that all I am, dude? Am I just like a geriatrics patient? that just
No.
happens to
Yeah.
meet me once a week?
Well, maybe you are to
Is that all-
Robert, but not to me. But
Oh,
but
God.
as for the emails, I have 3,094 unread emails.
Okay, that's a lot. That's a lot of emails.
So we're counting. Are we counting like the one you use the most? So school emails. School email.
Whatever was higher. Do your highest.
2,536.
I'm the winner.
That's a lot of emails.
I'm the
That is a lot
winner.
of emails. Yeah, you are the winner. You are the winner. To be fair, right? To be fair, when I sign up for subscriptions and shit, I don't really care if they send me promotions because I always feel like it's going to be useful. It never is. And I always forget to tell them, all right, stop sending me your fucking spam. And so it just clogs my fucking inbox.
Yeah, no, I got.
I still get emails from Lasertron, right? And I haven't been to a Lasertron in maybe 8 years.
It's just a fucking nightmare.
It's kind of amazing, to be honest.
All right, Robert, your topic. What's your next topic, bro?
Yeah, bruh.
I get pissed, goddammit!
Okay.
I'm.
You gotta piss? I mean, you're welcome to piss.
Pause.
I'm not gonna stop you from pissing, man. You all gotta piss.
No, like I'm saying I get pissed off. God damn it.
Oh.
Okay,
I-
that makes no sense.
I have.
No, I wasn't loudly announcing that I needed to go use the bathroom.
That's really what I thought was happening. I
I
was
thought that's
very
what you were doing.
confused.
I thought you'd be like, oh man, I gotta piss bad. It's like, you can just go. It's not like
we're,
we're
not,
holding
we're
you.
not holding you.
I get pissed, god damn it. So how long has it been? Like 3 weeks since I talked about my job last?
2 or 3.
Yes.
Okay. So I just wanted to go back and I actually wanted to talk about more than just like the customers I have to deal with. I'm still going to talk about customers. So I have a list. I have a short little list here of just interactions I've had over the last couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I'm gonna kind of go speed round with these with the customers. So
Right.
this is
Okay.
this is like last week.
Okay.
A lady walks up to me and like a motorized scooter. She's like, "Excuse me, where's the
Okay.
customer service desk?" And I'm like, "Ah, you gotta be kidding me!" Because there's a big, giant fucking hole in the
There's
wall.
a
and then it
giant
says-
fuck off sign that says customer
sign that
service
says
desk.
customer service. So I said, "All right, so right there'll be like an opening in the wall, and it'll be right there. It'll be a giant desk. In fact, there's a line of people there. And it'll be right past the bathroom." She goes, "Okay, thank
Right.
you." She, she's on her cart, and she goes past the bathroom. She goes past the fire exit next to the bathroom,
Okay.
and then she goes past the desk. And she keeps going. And she keeps going all the way to the other door. And I see her stop a worker at the door. And then I see them both like turn their heads like in my general direction. And then I see the worker point at the desk and then walk away. And then I see the lady drive her little cart up to the desk.
Okay.
Nice.
So that was
Wow.
one. So that was one. Then you guys know how I was talking about how people never know how to weigh produce properly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the way it works is that you
a
have to,
tomato.
yeah, you have to scan the item or like put in the produce number and then set it on the scale. At least for stuff that has to be weighed, like a banana or a tomato.
Mhm. Of
Well,
course.
what'll happen if you have it on the scale and then ring up the item is that it'll break the scale and then I gotta come over, clear the notification, and then help you out. Well, sometimes I'm just like, you just have to. I'll explain to them how the best way to do it. And there was this one guy. I was like, all right, yeah, you got to scan it and then set it on the scale, and then it'll work. And I walk away. I turn my back to him, and I turn around, and I see him get the next produce item and set it on the scale, and then ring it out, and then the scale break. I watch him do exactly what I told him not to do.
Mm.
So then it breaks,
Oh,
and then he looks over at me.
right.
And then I solved the issue for him, and I don't even say anything to him. I just kind of give him like that disappointed dad look.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Next, you guys know about? Actually, no, I'll get to that. I'll do that last.
Okay.
So have you ever had to like deal with somebody who tried to use a coupon that was expired?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can actually manually input coupons if they don't work. The only thing is, it has to be like recently expired. So like if it expired last week, I'll do it. There was a lady one time who tried using a coupon. It wasn't working, and I looked at it. It expired March 31st, 2017.
Oh my
Okay,
god!
Okay. Yeah. Great. All right.
That was a while ago.
I was
That
like,
was quite a while ago.
for context,
8 years.
for context, my parents got married on March 31st. 2017. My mom and my stepdad got married on March 31st, 2017. That's how old this was. And then she got upset when I told her that I was not going to honor the coupon.
Yeah.
Wow.
She was like, I just got it in the mail last week.
No, the fuck you
yeah,
didn't.
yeah.
Now you did.
Nice try. All right, next customer. You guys remember the old lady I was telling you about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one and only.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
How can I forget?
just yesterday, I had another encounter with her.
Oh God.
The old lady.
Now, fortunately, it wasn't that bad. She walks up, and this time she was with somebody.
Ooh.
Okay.
Improvement.
All
She was
right.
with somebody. Yeah. So she walks up and she goes, something. Can I get Coke? Something, Coke. And then she like holds up
As in
the
drink or the illicit substance?
yeah, the drink, as in the drink.
The drink.
Well, you never know.
So I was like, you want me to like get somebody to get you Coca-Cola? And she goes, no. Then I'm like, okay, so what do you so I'm like, so what do you want? So she's like, I want the red case of the cola. And then I look at the person she's with, and I'm like, she does want Coke. And I was like, okay. So I go get the item, I bring it back to where she was. She gone. She disappeared. So I was like, wow, awesome. I just brought this item up here for no reason.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh my God, dude.
And then I didn't see her again after that.
Nice. I like to imagine she went around the entire store just saying, give me a Coke. And then as soon as you left, she went to another person and just kept the line going all the way down the store.
Oh
Right.
my gosh.
But then
until she finally got it.
Yeah.
that's all the customers specifically noted incidences that I wanted to talk about. But then there's just, when you work at a grocery store, you hear a lot of the same shit all the time. Like when you're at the self-checkout, you hear, excuse me, do you have any bags? While they're standing next to, or I'm standing next to, a giant pile of bags.
Right. Yeah.
Fuck you.
Oh God.
Excuse me, does that register work? While pointing at a register that we quite literally just mere moments ago watched somebody using.
Oh my God. So
Fuck
there you go. Yeah. Fuck. Okay.
And then
I'm sensing a theme with how he ends all these.
Yeah.
excuse me, does this take cash? While they're standing next to a register that in big bold lettering says cards only. Fuck you. Then
funny every time.
And then here's what really annoys me is when I'm on the actual registers and people walk up and they go, "Are you open? Fuck you." No, I'm closed. I'm waiting for the sun to explode.
Waiting for the heat death of the universe.
And then
go fuck yourself.
And then there's the worst of them all, where I'm standing there, minding my own business, and I see some stupid white person walk up with the stupidest fucking look on their stupid fucking face with a cart full of 8 months worth of groceries, and they say, "Are you bored?" Fuck you. And that's the customers I want to talk about. And I'm fine with most of my coworkers. There's this my one coworker. We'll call him hold on. Well, I need a name for somebody who's like a nice guy but is really fucking stupid. It's a name that I haven't used for a bit like this before. Let's call him Samuel Robinson.
Oh, okay, right. Thank you.
Okay. We'll call him Jim.
Call him Sam or Jim.
Yeah, we'll call him Jim. Now, Jim, he's this really nice guy. He just is not the sharpest knife in the drawer.
Right.
So he used to work at one of these stores at a different location, but he's always asking like the stupidest questions. Like, supervisor, how do I scan bread?
What?
Or like that just some like really some really simple stuff that after like a week you should know how to do.
How to scam bread? He doesn't. What?
He doesn't know how to look
He
for a
can't
fucking
scan bread?
barcode, or is he trying to scan
Oh,
one piece of white bread? Like,
I'm
Like I said,
confused about that one.
not the sharpest tool in the shed. There was this one time
We can't
where,
all be winners. It's
we're
true.
we are really busy. Like really
Yeah.
busy. I come back from my break and they're like, can you get on that register real quick? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I look at it and I'm like, hey, I'm hopping on register 5, and that's crucial for this bit here.
Okay.
gotcha.
Mind you, this is like a Thursday.
Okay.
So, and
Yeah.
we get like a lot of Hispanic people like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, because of the paychecks. So usually we get like a higher concentration of non-Spanish speaking customers.
Right.
So I hop on.
How does that relate to anything in this story?
You'll see. So I hop on the register, and he looks back because he has a long line. So he's gonna say, "Hey, register 5 is open." He looks to
okay.
this Hispanic
Oh, no.
lady, and he goes, "Excuse me, register Cinco is open."
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh, that's gotta be a hate crime of some
And I
variety.
and I turn around, and one of my older coworkers is like leaning on a register because she's laughing so much, and nobody's like, oh, he said that because he's racist. No, he's just not.
He's
No, he's
just
not
a fucking,
brightest.
just a fucking idiot.
Yeah, he's not a winner.
So the Hispanic
Can't all be
lady,
winners.
she walks up. She's with like I think her granddaughter or something, and I go, "Hey, do you need a bag?" And I like gesture towards the bag, and she goes, and I quote, "Yeah, can I get a bag?" That was one of the
Why was
notable.
that pause so long? Why was the pause so long?
And
This
so then
guy.
I've tried to think of a lot of these from memories because there's just so many. He recently bought a new car, but while he was like looking for
Okay.
cars, he was like, "Yeah, there's this one guy who wanted to sell me a car for like $3,000." Mind you, this is like 3 months ago. So we're like, "Wow, $3,000! The car must be
Not bad for
the
a
car must be a piece of shit." And he's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, the car has like 50,000 miles. It's like a 2018." And we're like, "Okay, hold on." Yeah, we started urging him like, "Dude, you need to like go check this car out
Mm.
because I guarantee
Yeah.
you, for that low of a price and that on paper that good condition,
Yeah.
the car's gonna like disassemble driving out of the
Yeah.
lot."
Either you won't get the car or you will not have it for long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Either it's been an accident or there's an extra zero on that number you forgot about.
yeah. So he's like, "No." And mind you, one of the people
No.
that we were talking to worked
Yeah.
worked at a car dealership
Oh my god.
for a long
Right.
time. So she's like, I know what I'm talking about. You got to go check that car out. And he's like, "No."
Okay.
Nah, I'd win.
I don't know what ended up happening, but that he ended up getting a different car. I don't know if he took her advice and that he found that there was like a missing engine in the engine bay.
The car just wanted to start. It just wanted to
You know.
fucking start. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, the classics are tires not included. One of those deals. Yeah.
Tires not included, bro.
Passenger seat optional.
And then there's probably the most frustrating part of this job is the stupid changes that the company makes.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming we've all been to like some like retail store and you see like self-checkout areas of like 15 items or less.
Uh-huh.
Yes, Robert. I have indeed used a self checkout before.
Yeah. Use it.
Oh, we have
It's
three
off the radar.
self-checkout areas across like the front of the store.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of 10, one of 4, and the 4 has like the conveyor belts, which is why there's so few of them. And then there's like one of 6 at like the other end of the building.
Yep.
So 15 items or less on literally all of the self-checkouts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now the thing is that I work at a so
Right.
quite literally everybody is buying more than 15 items.
Uh-huh.
And in
Right.
fact, it's really easy to get more than 15 items when you're going shopping, especially at a store that big with that many items.
That much
So-
product,
Right.
if you will.
I think you can see where this creates so many issues, because then we don't have enough people working registers, and then the people who want to use the self checkout can't, and then they get angry, and then I'm like, listen, I don't make the rules. I get paid $16.50 an hour. I get paid $16.50 an hour to stare at you idiots.
That's as far as it goes, homie.
One day I just walk in and I see somebody wheeling the mini fridge out.
Oh my god.
I'm like, oh, that's gore of my comfort
sucks.
mini fridge.
Yeah, it happens.
Do you?
And then-
real quick, Robert, do you want to maybe explain that reference to the old men in the room so they get it?
Yeah,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Have you never seen
Oh man,
the comfort?
fuck you, man.
Have you ever seen like the comfort character memes?
Oh,
maybe?
right.
I don't know, let me Google it.
Hold on, I'll
Yeah,
find.
it's,
I'm finding an image for you.
That's gore of my comfort character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's more of my
Yeah.
comfort character. Yeah, that's.
Oh, that's gore of my comfort mini fridge.
I'm pretty much putting it down, so that took me a
It's-
hot minute to put together.
It's
man.
like this this image.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
gore of my
so-
comfort.
Oh,
Imagine
that's
if I
gore of
drew-
my comfort character. People feel the need to create gore of my comfort character because they hate him so much.
Like, imagine if you would, Dominic, right?
Yeah.
As an artist, I drew a
think
picture.
of it. Sure, okay,
Yes.
Go on.
A
Yes, I
picture.
have no idea what you're talking about now. Please go on.
Imagine if I had a picture, right, of
Yes. Paint me a
Nick
picture,
Wilde
Sam.
being
Paint me a picture
beheaded
of
by the
words here,
Taliban.
like a poet. Paint me a
Sorry, whoa, back up. What about the Taliban?
Imagine I
Taliban?
drew a picture of Nick Wilde being beheaded by the Taliban. That would be gore of your comfort character.
Got it. Okay.
Now,
So who
Dominic,
did you say?
Dominic, I
I'm
want.
like, I'm looking at too many memes of the Cybertruck. I got that. I'm like, when you were talking about lifted truck, it's looking at truck memes, and it went to the Cybertruck. And I didn't really know. I have not really been paying attention. To be totally honest. So
Good
who's
thing
being
you-
killed by
Nick
the
Wilde.
Taliban?
Nick Wilde.
Nick Wilde.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd call Nick Wilde my comfort character.
Who is your comfort character?
Yeah, who is your comfort character?
I don't know. I gotta think about this.
Tell us so I can Taliban them.
Who's that guy who did the standby caller? This right here, this guy, I feel him. I feel this guy really hard. This guy gets me.
Yeah. Now imagine him
Now I
being
know you're
beheaded
fucking
by
with
the Taliban.
Yeah, imagine that.
Mental image. I have it. I have
that would
it. I
be
had
that's
pretty much
gore
put it
of your comfort character. Imagine that.
Got it.
And that
Understood.
and
down. Pretty
that
much put it down.
that is what Robert is experiencing when they're taking out a mini fridge that he doesn't
When
even
they're
use.
taking out the mini fridge that I don't even use.
You got me thinking
So
about
topic.
comfort characters now. This should
Oh,
totally
see,
be.
there you go.
Is that gonna be your
You know,
Is that gonna be your
honestly,
topic?
honestly, I think next episode, I think we should all bring a comfort character to the table, and we can.
I
Have
think that
that.
makes
I
sense.
think we should, and this is kind of a homework assignment, but I'm going to assign it as a homework assignment because I'm totally going to do this now. We should put together each of us a quick PowerPoint about a comfort character.
We
Yes,
should- yes,
let's
yes,
do that.
yes,
That's kind of
That'll
funny.
be
We should do
next.
that.
yes.
Next episode.
Yes.
I would love to. I got a guy. Oh my god, it's gonna be so great. Okay, perfect. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's do that shit.
I'm afraid
I'm
for
gonna
Sam.
bombard you
I know
guys.
the way this
I am
goes
afraid too. I'm really concerned.
It may
this
be
is going to be
comforting in
another
ways I don't feel
Nala
uncomfortable.
incident.
What would you prefer? Would you prefer a Nala incident or an Edge? What would you prefer to see?
Is neither an
Honestly,
option.
God, I prefer the edge.
I prefer
And
to be
that is
Edge.
just barely
I
beating the
I
Nala.
would prefer the
Nala
Nala.
is
To be
worse.
honest with you, I like the content.
I prefer the gun.
I prefer the
I
gun.
prefer the gun to my head.
Put a gun to my head. Well, I'm gonna disappoint all of you by doing neither of those three things. This is gonna be something
so-
completely unique.
Next episode, my topic is comfort characters, and you better have done your homework. And find me
We will. We will.
Yeah.
We will.
PowerPoint presentation.
Okay.
Next
Alright.
topic, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about Tulpa, and I've actually done some research on this one, so this will be fun. Okay,
Hell yeah.
so who here? We're gonna get a little schizo here.
Ooh, I'm
Who
in.
here? Yeah, baby, yeah. Real
What
schizo
the
posting.
fuck was that?
Okay, I didn't like that, but
Oh yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah, baby. We're getting into some esoteric shit now, baby. Oh yeah, this is what I live for. Um,
Schizophrenia? That explains so much. That explains so much. It's not even funny.
I don't like how that sounds. That sounds slightly disparaging, but I'm gonna let it go.
Yeah. Well, tell me about the tulpa or however it's pronounced.
Okay.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, tell me about the
Who's
taco.
familiar?
I want to know about the taco.
Yeah,
Tulpa.
let's-
Tell me about the tulpa.
Tell me about the toga.
Very
Sam.
short.
Tell me about the toga.
it'll be very short. We won't talk about this for too long. Who here is familiar with the idea of theosophy? Who's familiar with theosophy?
It sounds familiar, but I can't place it. I'm gonna Google it. Tell me, what is
No
theosophy?
No idea.
I'm just going to tell you straight off of Google, right? Theosophy is a spiritual movement that originated in the late 19th century, seeking to synthesize various religious, philosophical, and scientific traditions. Sorry, I'm slightly dyslexic. So, back in the 19th century, there were a couple of big brain thinkers, mostly European, who attempted something rather naturally. Mostly French.
Naturally.
They attempted something.
Lafunk.
Rousseau, anyone?
I mean, usually it is the French who come up with these like batshit insane things. It
Yeah.
usually is the French.
9 times out of 10.
You don't see the Australians doing this, do you?
Well,
No, you don't see the
they're insane, just not philosophically.
Interestingly enough, this time around it was mostly Germans, but it makes sense because like they're very close to like the other places in the world. So the idea, I don't know what to say.
That statement makes no sense on so many levels. You can say that about anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Fucking trade routes and
Hawaii
shit.
is close to
I
other
don't know.
places in the world. It's close to the Pacific. Like, what do you mean?
Hawaii is. Shut up, man. Listen. I don't have time to go over the fucking Silk Road with you right now. All right, let me just get my topic finished here.
All right.
The point is, these European thinkers had the grand scheme, very ambitious grand scheme, to synergize religious thought. So combining Christianity with Buddhism and Hinduism and occultism into one kind of soup. It's very similar to something that I do, right? Like I tell people I'm a Muslim just not to scare them, but I also do incorporate I do incorporate bits and pieces. I do incorporate bits and pieces
It
of
implies that
Buddhism.
there's a little bit of why you tell people you're Muslim is to scare them. There's at least a small percentage.
Small percentage, just not to scare them. That's what I'm trying to do. But I do take like a little bit, bits and pieces of inspiration from like Buddhism, Christianity, and some bits of occultism as well. That's basically what theosophy is. Though I will not say that I follow theosophy. I'm strictly Islamic. I just like some of the ideas. I like the idea of reincarnation. I think it's cool, and I think it would be very funny if I died and came back as a bird.
I think it would be funny if I died.
Bottom text. So,
I mean, don't get me wrong. It would be funny.
It would
and
be
I will
funny.
laugh.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that from all of you. You guys.
Yeah,
Catch me
anything.
chuckling at the back of the funeral.
Just for that, you were all invited because I would love
to have a chorus of goons in the back chuckling the entire
chorus
time.
of goons. I would love to see how everybody fucking just stares daggers at you guys, making you completely uncomfortable. That would be great.
For you, anything.
Yeah, please come to my funeral. If I don't outlive the lot of you, which I'm
we can
hoping I
make that
do,
happen.
but we'll see.
You won't.
Okay,
You are ancient, but that's you know that.
I can't be the only old man here, according to Jacob. Still offended by that.
In spirit.
You can go on.
And theosophy, they borrowed an idea from Buddhism, which goes by the name of Nirmanakya. Which is basically the idea of earthly bodies that the Buddha manifested in order to teach those who have not attained nirvana. So basically the Buddha creating prophets to teach people to get into heaven, right? A thought form. And what ended up happening was these people who follow theosophy, they had the idea that, they called them tulpas. The Westerners called them tulpas. And it was developed by 20th century European explorers who interpreted the idea independently of Buddhahood. That was like the idea, right? It was like, okay, so you could create, it's kind of like astral projection, if you've ever heard of it. Astral projection. But instead, you're creating like you're basically creating a physical manifestation spiritually. Playing around with this idea, there was a thought, right? This one woman by the name of Alexandra David Neal she observed Buddhist tulpa creation in Tibet. She learned this from the Tibetan monks, and she practiced this. And according to her observations, it was possible that, because you're basically imagining, you're kind of like creating a thought form that acts like a human being, it eventually will develop free will. And it exists solely kind of like connected to the person who created it until it develops enough free will where it can branch off and become its own thing. And she has this wonderful story where she created a tulpa for herself that was like this really fat, jolly priest. But then she got scared that he was developing, emotions and free will, so she had to destroy him, which is great.
You can't have the tulpas making the free will. No. Yeah, I mean that's good.
That's not a lot.
And they start wanting like rights, and then they start wanting like time off from the work and hourly wages. You can't have that in business.
The whole capitalist system fails. We can't have that.
Yeah, we can't have
that.
Have
that.
Once they
bro.
start thinking about their own personal body, you just gotta nuke them. Yeah, it's understandable.
Just fucking nuke them as soon as possible.
Okay. So
yeah, wonderful woman. She kills the tulpa, makes a tulpa, kills the tulpa. It's kind of funny because in her book, she also does kind of suggest, it is very possible that I was just hallucinating the whole thing. It's like she was like just having a very serious psychosis episode in Tibet. But she says it should be noted. She says it should be noted.
This lady went to Tibet and had a psychosis episode in Tibet. This is unbelievable. I've never heard of such a thing in such a high altitude location famous for the questionable drugs. I've never heard of such a thing in Tibet.
Yeah, wow.
There's definitely no other factors to concern here.
Absolutely no other factors. But she does say one thing she wants to point out is, even if this is true, a bunch of other Tibetan priests say that they saw her tulpas. So, like, hey, maybe I was having psychosis, but if I was, so were the priests who've been there for years. They all were seeing the shit that I was creating.
I mean, that's not group delusions happen all the time, though. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I mean, if you ever watch Steven Seagal, then yeah, group delusions.
Steven Seagal.
But on like a serious note, I think there actually might be. I don't believe in the tulpa. I'm not going there. But you ever go camping when you were kids? Right.
Yep.
Say that again.
You ever go like camping with a group of kids? Like when I was a scout, I went camping with my scout troop. We used to go out camping as kids, and we would do this thing that like all kids do, which is go out in the woods at night and do like monster hunting.
Yes.
And it's dope. It's fun. It's fun as fuck.
Yep.
I always think there might be something almost ingrained in our heads to like kind of piece together stories of things you see in the dark and then share it. Because kids and even adults are really good at doing that, and they like it. They kind of like the thrill of the unknown.
They do like that.
I'm not saying it's what that is, but if you get a bunch of people to go into a monastery in the mountains and then tell them that you're supposed to experience something whimsical, it's very likely they'll report that they did. I mean, this
probably
sounds more like human nature than anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, it actually.
I don't want to belittle, because that's totally what I'm doing. I'm just belittling your entire point, but you go on. I do feel bad.
You make a very interesting point there, and that will tie back around to that, because it's like, here's a funny thing about that.
Yeah.
So it could just be a human sort of thing, because the other idea around tulpas, besides the ideas that you have people who can like just create basically tulpa and destroy them if they don't fucking like them for whatever reason, right? There's also the idea that was that a cough?
Oh, that was a cough. Sorry, that was a cough. That's a cough. Sorry, my fault. Again, dying of an unknown illness. My fault, chat.
Dying of I don't know.
I don't think you can prove to me that Jacob isn't a tulpa. I think Jacob might be a tulpa. I mean, that seems reasonable to me. This seems like a pretty. It's why he's dying. Whoever's created Jacob wants him dead.
The great irony of that, though, is I have genuinely been accused of that several times. Not of specifically being a tulpa, but of not being real, but of just being a figment of everyone's imagination.
I mean, think about it. Think about it. I've never seen you eat. First off, that's a tulpa action. You dress the same way every single day. I've never seen your reflection. You can't prove to me you're not a tulpa.
You do like random shit.
I'm nailing it down right now.
Yeah, it's like you random shit randomly, like you just brought like a fucking like thing full of tea that you were saying you were gonna hand out to everybody.
Tradition. That's a tradition. That's a tradition. All right, I don't want to hear shit about my tea tradition.
I mean, hey,
I'm not saying we can prove it. I'm just saying we can't unprove it. You know,
you can't unprove it.
God, guys, unreal.
You could be.
Guys, I think therefore I am. Come on.
I do not think therefore I do not am.
Hey, listen. I'm not saying you're not human, right? If you're tulpa, you technically am. It's just that whoever created you didn't kill you before you became what you are today. That's basically what it is.
All right, my fault, chat.
No,
it's not your fault. It's whoever created you's fault. It's their fault for not.
So
destroying
where are you going with this, Sam? So we have tulpas.
Right.
Yep.
We have tulpas. And then we have the idea that tulpas aren't created all the time, basically from group psychosis. Like the idea is that if, spiritual energies, if you believe in that sort of thing or you don't, spiritual energies, strong emotions, especially within groups of people, can mingle to create these thought forms. Whether they can actually interact with people or not is like, it's neither here or there. But, you look at these, you can say, okay, there's an idea to be said about group psychosis, right? Now, I wouldn't say specifically that there were thought forms during the Salem witch trials that were created, but it's almost in the same kind of vein. A bunch of people thinking the same way, getting hysteric, seeing the devil in people's houses, right? Now, of course, as we know, Salem was mostly a scam, but it's like
I don't think I would call it a scam, but sure.
Not a scam. Not really a scam, right? But it's like, okay, were these people actually worshiping Satan or were they just rich? That there's the idea, that there's the argument. But it's like that group hysteria. I believe that maybe not like, oh, literally I'm fucking creating Godzilla, but the idea of an energy that becomes separated from people and starts affecting people in ways they cannot expect or don't understand or can't even fight against. I do believe that is kind of a real thing. It's basically group hysteria. If you think about any kind of event that had happened with large groups of people, and I'm not going to name any, but there are some that come to mind. You don't even really have to go very far. You can keep it all in the United States, and you could think of, wow, I can't believe that many people would sign on to something like this. But that's neither here or there. But let's get to the funny bit. I got real dark there. Let's get to something that's a little more funny.
That was deep, I think. Maybe that wasn't deep. I don't really know.
Tickle my funny bone, Sam. My funny bone needs a tickle.
Hit me with the
Tulpamancers, baby. Tulpamancers.
I was hoping you would get there. I saw it on the Wikipedia page.
Tulpamancers?
Tulpamancers, baby. That's right. So it got real popular, influenced by depictions in television and cinema during the 1990s and the 2000s. There were online groups that popped up from all this.
4chan and Reddit, though.
4chan and Reddit, baby.
The community gained popularity when adult fans of My Little Pony started discussing tulpas of characters from the TV series My Little Pony.
Just take a look at that section and read it. It basically, the bronies found religion.
I'm starting to see why you, Sam, have an appeal in this. Yes, this is starting.
Oh wait, hold on a minute. Hold on. What the fuck?
Whoa. When you Google tulpa, right? When you put it into Google, just the word tulpa, this is the 7th image on the search results.
This hurts.
Result number 7.
The fool has made his topic a brony segment.
of a bitch, man. I thought we were gonna be kind of cool and like talk about like the Mothman or something, but no, we're gonna go straight into this.
No, fuck. Jesus Christ.
So
I wish
tell me,
we-
Sam, tell me, what do you find appealing about the tulpa?
I don't. What are you talking about? Nah, man. I don't find anything appealing about the tulpa. I'm talking about other people. This has nothing to do with
Well, I don't know, Sam, because it says here that some practitioners of tulpamancy have sexual and romantic interaction with their tulpas.
Yeah, okay. See,
Oh my
that
God.
now that
Though the practice is controversial and is trending towards taboo. It's not there yet, but it's trending that way.
it's not there yet.
Trending cool. It's not there yet, though. It's not
So-
taboo yet.
If you're skimming through the idea, right? Like, here's the thing: these tulpamancers, generally speaking, are let's face it, they are neats, they are incels, they are people who suffer from immense loneliness. Now, a lot of this it's very similar to creating imaginary friends, right? Very similar to creating imaginary friends. Some people consider this like a form of tulpamancey. And it isn't.
Okay.
I would
Bit of a
consider
stretch.
it's a bit of a stretch. I would say, okay, if like giving you the tulpamancers the benefit of the doubt, I would say imaginary friends are more of a form of meditation that doesn't really bleed into whatever the fuck you guys are doing now. But that's like basically the idea. They're just creating imaginary friends, but because they're adults and not kids who can't, for whatever reason, just let their imagination, be their only comfort, they take the extra step into inducing a sort of psychosis in themselves. If you're reading the Wikipedia page, 8.5 support a metaphysical explanation of tulpas, where a 76.5 support a neurological or psychological explanation, basically. So that's basically what it is. They delude themselves through meditation to convince themselves that these tulpas that they create are real. Now here's where
For clarity, 8.5 of what?
tulpamancers.
Tulpamancers.
Oh, it's
Tulpamancers.
percentage.
Stick
Okay.
stick with us here, Dominic, please. Come on.
Sorry. I was baffled because 8.5 plus 76.5 is not 100%.
No,
So the
there's,
total
No, it's
percent
that-
that
there's
I-
14%. There's another 14% that's labeled other.
Yeah, they just give no explanation and can't stick to the stride. What do you think of this? What do you think of the implications behind tulpamancy with lonely individuals?
So I have an actual thought. Can I digress
Yeah.
real quick?
Yes.
Why are we bringing up Slender Man in this wiki page?
Oh, well, there you go.
Some
hold on a
have
second.
called
Is Slender
the
Man
Slender
a
Man
tulpa?
a tulpa
That's the
effect
definition.
and have attributed it
Yep,
to multiple
yep.
people's thought processes. That's a scary thought.
That is a scary thought.
I digress. It's not even that great a game. But anyways,
It's not.
I think so. If I'm following correctly, which I'm almost positive I'm not, but I think the idea that people have to go into like delusions to make themselves feel less lonely and have an imaginary friend, that's I don't like that. That's sad. But
It is very sad. Yes. And what about you, Dominic? What do you think of all this?
I'm thinking 3 different things in my head. The first one is, isn't it like, I think it's kind of amazing how creative the human imagination can be.
Yes.
yeah,
Quite.
Secondly, a couple years back, I read a story somewhere about this guy that I heard on the podcast. This guy from New York City went to Albania, right? And while he was there for like some wedding or whatever, right? But it was in Albania. He got lost in a city, and he stumbled upon, and like he swears up and down. He went on live radio. He swears he saw a werewolf. But what he actually saw was this. I'm gonna send you an image.
A really hairy man.
A really hairy man.
I'm
What
betting
he saw
money
was
on
this.
What
It's
the
escaped
fuck
from
is
the zoo.
that?
It's a bear. It is a black bear that was shaved for surgery, and it escaped from the zoo after surgery. And that's what he saw. And I was thinking to myself, like, if I saw that in a dark alleyway in Albania, I would think it's a werewolf too.
I would too.
I think it would. I don't even know what to say that is.
it's fucking disgusting.
That's just a bear.
Why
It's
did
been
they not
shaved because they had to get
shave
surgery.
the rest? Why? Why did they not shave her?
It had to go for some sort of like.
Why did they make
that's
him
the
look
other
like
thing.
Wolverine?
I know, right? Like, you tell me, if you saw that in a dark alleyway in Albania, like, you're not familiar with Albania at all. You just know it's like it's Eastern Europe. It's weird. It's dark
What the
out.
fuck
And you
does
just
this
saw
bear
that digging
even-
for a trash can. You think that's like a man-turned wolf?
I would think
What kind of
that's
surgery did it get?
a
I don't really know.
Good
I haven't looked
question.
all that deep.
I would think that was a quadrupedal kangaroo with a wig on. Is what I would think that is. That's what that looks
Yeah,
like.
yeah, right.
It looks like a
and,
man.
The
Does
third
look like
thing,
a
and this is much
Doesn't.
more
No, it looks like a
serious.
beast. What kind of men are you looking at? That's a definite. That's a textbook beast right there.
If you saw that on the beach, right, you would not assume that's a guy. I would not
No,
assume
I mean,
that's a guy.
it looks like a man turned wolf. Is what I'm trying to say. Robert, what did you gather from all this? And then I'll like put a pin in this topic, and then we'll close up from there. What did you think? What did you think of all of this stuff?
Hairless bears look freaky.
They do.
Oh,
They
no.
look freaky.
I will be
I'm
honest.
not thinking about
Sam.
freaky.
Sam, I'm gonna be honest with you. I liked your talk. I think it was interesting. I'm gonna
Completely trumped by the hairless bear.
It completely blown out of the water. Like, I'm so sorry, Sam. I really am. I know you put a lot of work into this, and I do appreciate that effort, and I thought it was very nice. But that bear is fucked up. I mean, come on.
That bitch.
You got to admit. Surely you got to admit.
I do admit. Cut the bear from this.
What kind of
episode.
surgery did it get where it needed to be fully shaved?
I don't really
kind of
know. to be
surgery
honest.
is that?
I've never dug into it. I just heard this on a podcast. This is the image they showed to me at on the podcast. Was like this. It's like I saw a werewolf, man, but it was actually this, and it was a hairless bear.
Wait, what was this?
I'm gonna look up
This is
hairless
recently?
Albanian bear.
Yeah, give that a Google. It was some Eastern European country. I'm gonna assume it was.
What?
Albania.
When was it?
You know what?
what
I
was
think I heard it on. I'm gonna try to find the original source of this really quick.
Yeah,
Stand by,
do
caller.
that.
I think I can pull it up.
Stand by, caller.
You can talk about other things. This might take me a minute or two to find.
Okay.
You can start
Stand by,
pulling statements. That might
everybody.
be a wise thing to start about now.
So to close, right? I'm gonna go back to haunting you guys again.
Oh, found it.
this-
Wait,
Oh,
found
yeah.
it.
That was quick.
Great. Amazing.
Instantly interjected.
I went for the
Instantly
roller
interject.
because
I'm not
Thanks,
even
Dominic.
sure he got 5 words in.
Okay, 27,
Is this like the
21
actual?
of what?
On does the link you
Oh,
sent? Is this the actual YouTube video? No.
No, this is a channel, but this is the video.
I was okay.
like-
Yeah, he's sending the link.
2721 of monsters.
monsters.
Oh, I
Ah,
have seen this video. I don't remember this bit.
Oh God, I see it. Oh, that thing is freaky.
I know, right? So that's where
Okay,
that
I've
was
got-
from.
I got
That's a
Harvard
source
Dad.
right there. That's why here in Collective Stupidity we follow up our sources.
And then I got
Unlike
another ad.
CNN.
Unlike
Okay.
unlike CNN.
This is like the 3rd time I think you've disrespected CNN like that. I don't know if I put it in any episodes, but what is your problem with CNN?
I don't. I just think it's funny because it's such a giant.
Funny as shit on
It's really
CNN.
annoying too because I think in the near future I might be applying for jobs in CNN because they have a giant. You know, the headquarters is in Atlanta, which is pretty close to Florida.
I am going to
There you
make
go.
sure I send this to them.
Thanks
send
bud,
this
for
to
you,
CNN.
anything. Appreciate that level of loyalty. Let's do some closing statements because we're 2 hours deep and I want to.
We are 2 hours deep.
I
We
wanna
are 2
kill.
hours deep. Fuck. Okay. So closing statements. We will start with Jacob. What's your closing statement?
This episode is the only one so far, I think, that might genuinely be 2 hours. Because I don't know if there's anything I can cut out to take the time down. I don't like that closing statement. I'm going to do another one.
Do it.
Hold on, I gotta think. Come back. Start. Do something else. Do some other order. I'm not ready.
Okay.
Run it
Okay.
back, run it back.
Oh, so now we break from the order. Okay, so every day the order is important, except for the day you don't want to do the order, and then it's not important. I see how it is. You don't think I don't see that? I see that.
So
Follow the order is
Listen,
taken my ass.
all I'm
My
hearing.
ass.
Well, listen, Dominic. Listen. Okay, I'm sorry. I was gonna let this slide because I was feeling nice today.
Excuses.
But no, Dominic. You know
Yeah.
what, Dominic?
Go ahead.
You know what the
Go ahead.
issue with this is because this isn't
What?
the actual closing statement order. This is the fucking reverse closing statement order. So your statement isn't even right. I was letting the wrong
Brain
order
damage.
go this one time, and now I'm telling him to do the correct order, and you're making fun of me for it. You're yelling at me for telling him
Oh,
to do the
wait.
right order, complaining that I'm not doing the right order. Go
yeah,
fuck
you're right.
yourself.
Fine.
Go fuck yourself. Samuel, give me a
My
closing
bad.
statement right now, please. I'm taking the host
Yeah,
shit
my
back.
bad,
I'm
my-
host again. Samuel, closing statement
All
right,
right,
now.
all right.
Go.
You screw up one time. Yeah. So, Hulpas, large fucking trucks, annoying customers, supervisors, and coworkers. The people of Boston Massachusetts.
Are you
Human
trying to
beings-
make an intro right now? Are you trying
No,
to make
this
the very intro of the show?
No, I'm not. This has literally been my
Hold on.
process. What the
Boston, Massachusetts.
Boston,
It
Massachusetts.
sounds like the
point
start
is-
of like a really bad tabloid article. Like, what does Boston, Massachusetts trucks and werewolves have in common? They're both
I
on the
hate to
same
t-
podcast. It's like one of those
I hate to
tabloids.
tell you this.
Boston,
Dominic.
Massachusetts can't drive.
Our show is the equivalent of a bad tabloid. You do know that, right?
It is.
like-
It's like the audio version of a tabloid article.
Yeah.
The point I'm trying to make is human beings are curious creatures, whether it's deluding themselves into just crazy psychosis. That was a redundant term. I don't like
Okay.
using that. I don't like that I use that, but whatever. The point is, humans are crazy. Humans are amazing. Humans make me want to kill myself. There's no other place I would rather live than on the planet Earth with my good friends here on this podcast. Really mutual acquaintances and Dominic, but we'll get into that later.
Mutual
Robert,
acquaintances
sorry,
and Dominic,
sorry,
who's not
I-
a mutual acquaintance.
I want to. Is Dominic above or below mutual acquaintance?
Oh, he's above mutual
Oh,
acquaintance.
okay, yeah. So yeah, Robert and I will go fuck
Thank God.
ourselves. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Separately.
No, I want to see it. I want to see you guys.
Oh,
do
you
that.
fucking
Never mind.
would,
Oh,
you
okay.
fucking freak. You fucking freak. Oh my
Oh,
god.
okay.
Robert, give me a
Robert,
closing
you're
statement. Robert, give me a closing statement. You're not host. Shut the fuck up. Robert, give me a closing
First
statement.
taking the show back over.
Yeah.
Sam, I love you, but that quite literally that entire Tulpa experience more or less went in one ear, out the other. I already forgot the entire thing. I
I'm
remember
going to kill you.
Ever since
remember-
that bear, it all went downhill.
I remember Slenderman and the naked bear.
everything
That's
that
pretty
happened
much
at the end.
You know what? I'm going to create a tulpa specifically
He's gonna
designed
create
to
a
torture you.
Tulpa to torture me.
That's what I'm going to do just for that.
Wonderful.
Was that your
Dominic.
closing statement?
Yes, it
That you-
was. Yes, his statement was he didn't listen to anything you said. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Great. Thank you.
Dominic,
A.
Dominic, what are you gonna hit me with this time? What should I be buying from you, or what do you want to have socially happen? I guess is how else we've been defining shit. What do you just do it.
Say something, damn it!
I love listening to you like break down and just trying to talk to me. It's like I can't even deal with this shit. There's nothing here that I want. If you live in the greater Rochester area or the greater upstate New York area, and you own a bear, perhaps you work for Seneca Park Zoo or the Buffalo Zoo, and you are going to shave that bear for surgery at some point, could you release said bear into the streets of eastern Rochester so I could see a werewolf in person in the dark alleyways of Alabama?
Wait, we
If
should
you can do
totally
that
try
for
to
me, I
fight a
will not
bear.
stop you.
No,
We
no,
should
we
fight
should.
a bear.
No, we should.
Yeah.
No.
It'll be
That is-
the
That is
series
what I
finale.
want to plug today is if you own a zoo and you own a bear and you're gonna shave that bear, hit us up because I've got a task for you to do. I got a side quest.
Oh my
I
God,
have a
dude.
side quest for you.
Thank you for that moment.
Oh god, it's me next, isn't it? Fuck, I don't
Yeah, it
have
is.
Yeah, it
anything.
is.
I don't have anything.
You still don't have it.
No,
That's
I don't
crazy.
have anything.
Wow.
Well, listen, man, I got distracted by the bear. I think my closing statement is going to be, love everyone. You know, I love everyone, but especially love Collective Stupidity more. You know, share the show with your friends, your family. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Do leave a rating on Spotify or whatever. I need to get more into promoting. I think the actual show. I think I'm gonna start becoming a corporate sponsor. I think it's what I need to do. I need to corporatize this. So leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you think of the latest episode. And we'll see you all in the next one. Hey!
Subscribe to the Patreon.
Fuck yourself!
I have never like been on a YouTube channel. I've listened to somebody say you should subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell. I've never
Dude, when the hell were you
heard
born?
that and
2012?
then hit the bell. This has never happened.
Yeah.
I reckon there's no correlation between saying that and not saying that. I reckon it makes no difference.
If you're like under the age of 7, it probably works. But
Probably.
Yeah, it does.
Probably.
Yeah.
Pavlov's dog.
As somebody who was once 7.
As somebody
Somebody who
who
was once
still
7
is
years
7,
old,
I can confirm.
works.
Yes.
There you go.
As someone who
Oh,
will
God.
never be 7, I cannot confirm.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Sure. Yeah.
As somebody
Goddamn.
who is or is not 7, only when observed, it does work. Schrodinger's 7-year-old.
Schrodinger's 7.